Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. We're here in Austin, Texas at South by Southwest. Now, I've got my handy dandy SJW moniker with me, and we're going to be talking to progressive liberal techies, asking them what they think about the recent censorship of conservative voices on social media platforms. Let's go see what they have to say. So what do you guys think about social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook starting to crack down and kind of censor conservative voices on their platforms? What do you think?
Conservative voices? What do you mean? What are you referring to?
We've heard about certain people with political affiliations leaning to be more conservative and how they've been being censored, either kicked off, videos removed, or their content put as sensitive. Do you think that that's okay?
Not at all. I feel like society innovations are only as good as its creative commons, you know? So if we're getting censored, we're not going to innovate.
I just saw Obama talk about that on the TV show. It's good and bad.
Good and bad?
Bad because it's like single-minds you on like what you normally look at versus having the openness to see whatever.
I mean, if you're a political commentator, then I guess you should be careful what you write. You know what I mean? Could offend people. How do you feel?
Yeah, for sure. I think if you're a political commentator, I think if you're a political commentator, you have a job. If that's what you do, then you have a job to be that. So I think you should comment on anything political and give your opinion. Like, I don't think you should be censored.
It's good because you got to filter your content. YouTube has a responsibility to make sure that their users aren't overstepping the boundaries, like with the Jake Paul and Logan Paul thing, where you got suicides out here in Japan. It's like there's young children being exposed to this, so they have a duty to be responsible and overlook the content being posted on their pages.
I mean, they got to use it in the right way. If you're not going to use it in the right way, I guess you can't be on it. I guess that's the way you're going to go, you know? So if you're going to speak the right words and you're going to speak the right thing, then yeah, I guess so.
It's their company. They can do whatever they want.
That's a good question, come to think of it. I guess if they're not saying the truth and they're just putting things out, I'm not sure if that's the case, but maybe there should be some type of overseeing, you know what I mean? It's like right now you have abuse of the Second Amendment, and there could also be abuse of free speech if it's not honest. Not free speech, free press, excuse me.
No, I don't think anyone should be censored. I don't think anybody should ever be discriminated in any way. But at the same time, you also got to understand that you're making a choice to be on there.
Yeah.
This is not something that you have to do. We made a choice to make a Twitter account. We made a choice to make a MySpace account, Instagram account. It all depends on necessarily what you want to do with it. I feel that people need to take responsibility for what they're doing.
What about certain cases that we've heard about where, there was a cake maker that didn't want to bake a cake for a LGBTQ couple, and that cake maker got sued for not wanting to make the cake because of their own religious beliefs.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that that's any different than this situation?
I think it's exactly the same. I think if you want to do that and censor, you're going to lose a lot of your customers. So if you're a business owner and you're smart, maybe you should just be a business owner. Yeah, I don't want your cake. If you don't give my gay friend a cake, I don't want your cake. You're done.
Let's put it this way. The Republicans, everything's bad with the Democrats. Democrats, everything's bad with the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody's got to be okay.
I mean, I don't believe that they should have the right to censor what people could say, because freedom of speech is still a thing and
Because a lot of the censorship is done in the name of hate speech. Do you think that hate speech should be censored off of social media?
I mean, if it's going to cause people to want to harm themselves or harm others, then yeah, because we don't need a corrupt world just because we need to have a social media type world. But yeah, I mean, should be censored.
They're saying that this is because they're censoring hate speech. Do you think that that's okay to censor hate speech?
Indifferent on it. I mean, yes and no. Freedom of speech, so we should kind of not have to be censored, but yes, if it's really malicious.
Who should decide who's considered fake and real if they start censoring?
Oh boy, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't censor. Maybe I changed my mind. No, I just said.
Do you think that any of these companies, like YouTube, for example, could have their own bias that they contain?
That's what I'm saying. If it's a certain bias, it's You know, it's like look at the two-party system you got today. You know, not that I'm let's put it this way: the Republicans, everything's bad with the Democrats. Democrats, everything's bad with the Republicans. I mean, somebody's got to be okay. You know, actually, a guy I worked with, the guy's dead now. He's probably like 80 some odd years old. But he told me a story that when he was young, the KGB came for his mother because she said something, I don't know, in a market, something. They had each block had something like a watcher, and she got reported to the KGB. And anyway, they came for her, and she disappeared for like a whole year. She brought her back. Then for some reason, they came for her again, and they couldn't find her. Then they took her, hit my friend's father, and he never saw his father again till after the Second World War, when he came back from the war. Then his father sort of came back, but he died a year later. His father. Anyway, that's it. That's Russia with the KGB.
Yeah. We should learn from what happened with Soviet Russia, right?
I would say. Well, I think we just. Yeah, but I don't think that will ever get that crazy here. I don't think, because hopefully our system has enough checks and balances. I hope.
Such as the First Amendment.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
This is the heart of 1776.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Huge nationwide protests erupted once again on President Donald Trump's second weekend in office.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
And most importantly, we will be protected by God.
From the front lines of the info war, it's Alex Jones.
No!
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, stop.
The scientists at InfoWars Life have created a powerful formula for inflammatory support and joint support. Discover the power of ancient medicine with Bodies. Bodies contains one of the most potent forms of turmeric available. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years and is one of the most studied herbals today. It is well known in traditional medicine for its soothing properties. Our pure turmeric extract plus piperine from black pepper makes for optimal absorption to help boost and support your flexibility, mobility, joint function, immune system, and so much more. Regular turmeric root from the store only contains 1 to 5% of active ingredients, but our turmeric root extract contains over 95% of the active ingredients. Bodies combines turmeric with organic herbs such as spearmint, sage, lemon balm, and thyme to work synergistically for full body support. Try Bodies today at InfoWarsLife.com or call us at 188-253-3139.